Mary was beaten every day by her brother, even to the point where she would throw up from the blows. The reason for this abuse was that her brother was under too much pressure at school. At school, Mary's locker was filled with nails and razor blades, and her seat was covered with glue. The teachers didn't intervene and even told Mary to sit down quickly. So, she had no choice but to hurriedly take her seat. During recess, Mary was also bullied. If she resisted at all, she was shoved onto the toilet. Every day, Mary prayed, hoping that some deity would save her. Her only source of happiness was feeding stray cats after school. She longed to take one home, but that was impossible. At home, Mary was not welcomed. Her parents only cared about her brother, who was academically successful, and paid no attention to her. Her parents even advised her brother not to stress too much, but Mary knew the truth. Her brother wasn't stressed at all because he was transferring all his pressure onto her. Every day, she was beaten by her brother, and no matter how much she begged him to stop, he wouldn't. Mary often felt like she was going to die from the beatings, and she wished she could leave this world. One evening, after being beaten by her brother again, a screen beside her suddenly lit up. The words "Magical Girl" website appeared on it. Mary clicked on the page and saw a strange little dog that offered her a magic wand to help her escape the abuse. The next day, when Mary opened her locker at school, she found a strange toy gun and a manual. As usual, during recess, she was bullied again. This time, the school bullies wanted to do something different. They called over an older student to take away Mary's most precious possession. Mary's pleas went unheard, and she struggled to break free. Helpless, she hid in the parking lot, but the bullies quickly found her. Terrified, Mary didn't even dare to breathe. She thought she might escape, but just then, the older student appeared in front of her and grabbed her. The bullies took out a bell collar and told Mary the story of a cat that had been run over by a train, turning it into a mangled mess. Thinking about the cute cat, Mary pulled out the toy gun from her bag. The older student and the bullies mocked her, saying the toy gun couldn't possibly help. But then, something extraordinary happened. Mary's eyes began to glow. She pulled the trigger, and a beam of light shot out. The bullies and the older student vanished instantly. In the distance, the sound of a train horn echoed. People were standing near the train tracks, and by the tracks were the bodies of the older student and the bullies. Mary stood frozen in fear, unable to believe what she had just witnessed. The next day, news of the incident spread throughout the school. The teachers gathered all the students for a morning ceremony. Panicked, Mary quickly closed her eyes, trying to avoid responsibility, but she felt a pair of eyes staring directly at her. It was the friend of the deceased, who forcefully pressed Mary against the wall. She accused Mary of being responsible for the deaths of the older student and the bullies. The girl tried to hurt Mary with a knife, but Mary didn't resist. Just then, another girl with superpowers intervened and saved Mary. This girl could pause time. Normally, Lena wouldn't have interfered, but this time, she wanted to cooperate with Mary. There were too many people with superpowers in the world, and some were even killing their own kind to get stronger. Before dying, one of Lena's friends had sent her a photo of a killer, so for safety, the two girls needed to stay together at all times. Even when sleeping, they couldn't be apart, and someone had to be on guard. However, Lena didn't anticipate that. Just then, the door was knocked on. The next day, Mary believed she had memorized the appearance of the killer and went outside alone. A girl called out to Mary, and after a few words, the girl immediately summoned a barrier. Fortunately, Lena was nearby and immediately paused time. But the girl could still move, as her barrier was impervious to all attacks, even when Lena struck it with an iron rod. Since the girl had gained the ability to change her face, she only needed to take a photo to become whoever she wanted. The girl used her powers to paralyze Mary with an electric shock. But she didn't stop there, she just changed the pupils of her eyes and was able to unleash different skills. Lena quickly reminded Mary to use her teleportation ability. However, since the last time Mary used her powers, she had accidentally killed two people. She was now too scared to use her abilities. Fortunately, Lena's reminder